forward slots. Lowry and Powell, the guards. And it's Gasol at the 5, down low. And for Milwaukee, Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. The backcourt comprised of Bledsoe. And what a jam!
Loving that right there.
What a jam!
Nice. Oh, I would love to see Giannis in the dunk contest. Wouldn't that be sweet, Kevin? Well, after leading the Bucks to an incredible year, Giannis Antetokounmpo wins the Most Valuable Player trophy. A very emotional speech that night talking about his family and his brother and the impact they have. But really, how about the impact he's had on the Milwaukee Bucks franchise and what kind of aspirations they have on the shoulders of this young Greek talent? Well, a lot of players in the league are going to make that shot, and for him, it's pretty much automatic. It's a good defensive effort to prevent the layup.
Matthews, no good.
He may not be the strongest inside presence in the league, but still, he's got to convert from there.
And Siakam throws it down.
That is all timing right there. Just led him perfectly.
Last season, Brent, Giannis played like he knew he was the best. Even finishing off dunks by yelling, "I'm the MVP."
Wow, you do that well, Kevin. Yeah, Giannis was incredible. And I like the fact that throughout the course of the season, there seemed to be laser focus on every night, competing and getting better. He's just shouldering the responsibility of this entire franchise. I'm looking forward to see where his game goes from here.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
Well, he's going to just keep going now. That's early confidence for him.
Lowry passes to Siakam. Lowry kicks to Powell. Over Matthews. And the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Yeah, and this team depends on Lowry. I mean, so skilled at creating shots for himself or his teammates.
Here's Lopez. Here's Antetokounmpo. And no good. So the Raptors will take it the other way. Here's Anunoby. And he jams it with authority.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. Bucks have gone 2 of 6 from the field. Bledsoe against Lowry. And yes, it's good.
Try to prevent Bledsoe from charging inside. Easier said than done. Once he sees the lane, pretty much over for the defense.
Powell against Matthews. Powell, the pass to Gasol. Lays it up off the glass.
Look, they're not going to play a perfect game, but so far they are 5 of 5, and the D has to be concerned.
And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. The layup off target. Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
A different look for Milwaukee. Dante DiVincenzo. He's checked in for Matthews. And George Hills subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. A new group in now for the Raptors. Serge Ibaka. He's checked in for Gasol. Monday Hollis Jefferson comes in for Pascal Siakam. Davis is checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Kyle Lowry. Davis up top. This one for 3. VanVleet with the bucket.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
And so he'll bring it up for the Bucks. They trail by 6. Takes it from 10. It's good.
Yeah, smart play there. George Hill good at figuring out ways in the paint to score the basketball.
Now here's VanVleet. He's guarded by Hill. Outside, Davis. Pass to VanVleet. And that one falls coming off of Davis's speed. VanVleet's got 5 now.
And I like the subtle adjustment he made to create a little space for that one.
Yeah, that's an awesome finish there for sure. Not allowing that big guy to have his way or alter the shot.
And Antetokounmpo gets it to go.
Well, that basket must be widening out right now, Kevin. He's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
Now the pass to Van Vliet. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Ibaka right side. And it's sent back by Lopez.
Oh, that's out of there. Not a high riser, but Lopez using his frame, a smart block, if you will.
Back to Giannis. And Giannis throws it down.
That's a nice toss up there, so you got to like the timing. But, of course, that's Giannis. He's going to grab anything.
Van Vliet with it. 5 points in the game. 24 seconds left to play here in the first. Lopez against Ibaka. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Yeah, high percentage look there for Ibaka. He can be automatic in there when given room.
Now here's Antetokounmpo. Pass to Lopez. And he goes right over Serge Ibaka and slams it down.
Punch, counter punch. Impressive offensive production early on.
Who's going to miss first? Every time one team scores, the other team right back at you.
And a high-scoring first quarter. Both teams really filling it up. Toronto ahead, up by 2. And we'll get going after this from Milwaukee. Letters that go into the spelling of Giannis Antetokounmpo's last name. He helped set the record straight of how you pronounce it.
The Nigerian way, you gotta say with a D, so it's Antetokounmpo. But in the Greek way, you say with the NT, like Antetokounmpo. Whatever you got, just say, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Seems easy enough, right?
I guess so. I think a lot of people are going to stick with Giannis or the Greek Freak.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
Well, if they wanted to start well, this would be it. They seized momentum right away, and they just didn't let it go in that quarter.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. On the court for the Bucks, we've got Ilyasova. He's out there with Kyle Korver. Robin Lopez out there with Hill. And it's Connaughton in at the 2. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know. And if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, a Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole. Kevin, that's what made him. From Philly to Villanova to Toronto to an NBA champion.
I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. Here's Boucher. Misses off the left iron. Bucks trail by 4.
First in the East and overall best record with those 60 wins last year. Just a great season and a great playoff run by the Bucks. Unfortunately, fell victim to a backdoor sweep in the conference final.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Back to Bledsoe. It's rebounded by Kyle Lowry. You know, Brent, the Bucks had never lost 3 games in a row all of last season until that Toronto series.
Think about how much that might impact what it is they rely on coming into this year, where they're not going to let that loss last year in the playoffs define them. It's a big learning curve. They had an opportunity. They were that close. They can hold on to that motivation all year long and get back to that opportunity this year in the playoffs. They'd be better for it.
Passes to Boucher. Now, here's Siakam, defended by Ilyasova. There's the double team with Korver. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Boucher. Rebound, Milwaukee. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Connaughton, and he makes good on the layup. Now just a 2-point Toronto lead.
Outstanding job by Korver in how he swings the pass over to the most open man on the court.
Powell dishes to Gasol over Lopez. Gasol's shot is good.
They're loving the confidence. Just rise and be free, and you know you can do this.
There's something to be said about knowing yourself. It allows him to shoot and shoot comfortably, even with taller defenders out there.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. We talk so much about the stars in this league, Brent. Name some role players who, when they do get hot, they can be terrific.
Well, there's nobody better, and I think he's ripped out a page from Seattle's own Jamal Crawford. There's been nobody better in the last couple of years than what Lou Williams has represented for the Clippers. He's had scoring performances, Kevin, and you've been witness to them courtside, where it's just astounding that he can go and get where he wants to go and make the types of shots that he's been able to do. And this is a revelation because this is 7, 8, 9 years that he's been in the league, and he's doing this with such great impact and, thankfully, rightfully, been rewarded for it.
Given how crafty Gasol is, it's difficult trying to stick to him, especially in these screen and roll sets.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Not getting old here, seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
Powell, the pass to Siakam. 1:19 left in the first half. Outside Lowry. Kicks to Powell. Toronto working the ball around now. Here's Siakam. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
He just takes advantage of the D in a way that very few players, Kevin, playing today can do.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Watching that guy put on a burst of speed, he takes up so much of the floor. What a burst by Giannis.
Toronto leading by 4. Now Lowry. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And Siakam throws it down.
I love the unselfishness, and you know coaches do as well.
Well, not just coach, but you can see it in the teammates, the way that they look at him. They appreciate it when he shares the ball like that.
Pass to DiVincenzo. Antetokounmpo with the ball. 32 seconds left in the first half of basketball. On the wing, Williams. Puts one up from 19. Gasol with the rebound. The Raptors have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. And here's Lowry. With his first shot attempt. No good that time.
Well, with his touch from mid-range, Kevin, that's almost always good. That won't shake his confidence.
And so it's the Toronto Raptors with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach, probably not the defensive effort you were hoping for thus far.
Yeah, no, our defense isn't where it needs to be. I think they're getting open looks. We're overshifting, and then we're not committing to shooters. Just not a very good defensive effort so far.
Mike, thanks very much for your time. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first period was 6 points. For the Raptors, Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, their playmakers are showing up tonight, seeing the court well, moving the basketball. That's why they had so many assists in the first half. And they're not just relying on ISO plays to generate points.
And now, Shaq, let's get your opinion on Milwaukee.
Well, they're not matching up well defensively, giving up a lot of open looks, a lot of easy points. They're allowing a crazy high shooting percentage, 60% and up. Time to step it up quick.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. You look at Antetokounmpo, and this game has been everywhere.
Yeah, and through the first two quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Yeah, he's shouldering the load right now and looking really comfortable while he's doing it.
And it's Lowry with the ball, brings it up for the Toronto Raptors. And on the floor for Nick Nurse as we get into the second half. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. On the wings, Powell and Anunoby. And it's Lowry in at the point guard position. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
That's great signs to see Chris Middleton get up just like that.
Well, he coined the name himself last season. Brent, are you willing to call Brook Lopez Splash Mountain?
I am, but I think Brook Lopez was also looking for some kind of deal so that him and his brother could get free rides for the rest of their lives.
Bledsoe passes to Lopez. And the three ball is good. Lopez has got 5 now.
Good soft hands there from Lopez, efficient in the catch-and-shoot motion.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Alden.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto last season, Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23. He has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. After winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. The first free throw is good. And Brent, when you watch Eric Bledsoe go to the rim, you just have to admire what an incredible finisher he is.
Well, Bledsoe, I think, has always relied on the fact that his physical stature, not in terms of his height at 6'1", but his width and strength allows him to go in there and be a bit of a bulldog, to get contact and to make things happen. So never has shied away from that.
Three-pointer, Lowry, that shot misses.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Teardrop shot. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Siakam's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Seems like nearly everyone, Brent, can shoot the 3. Records being broken every year. How long do you think this age of shooting is going to last?
The tipping point, I'm not sure where that is, but the fact that the Houston Rockets in the past 2 seasons have done what it is that they've done, shooting more 3s than 2s for 2 consecutive seasons, is just a mind-boggling thing to me, Kevin. I think,
but where has it gotten?
Well, I think that we're kind of at
the tipping point.
I think we are at the tipping point. I don't know how much more you can do, but the teams that are seeing those other teams having success with it are trying to emulate it without the talent that you have. So the next few years are going to be interesting to see how it is, or where it is, that a transformative player maybe brings the game back towards inside the three-point line, or what strategies change to create even more three-point shots.
And over the last few seasons, Kyle Lowry's scoring trending downward. His assists increasing, though, dramatically, relying more on his teammates to get the job done.
And we've seen Lowry settling for more perimeter shots in recent years.
I mean, he's always had a great motor, but you have to adapt as you get older. Some back issues starting to creep in, and important for him to stay healthy along the way.
Connaughton passes to Ilyasova. Middleton against Siakam. And Middleton kicks to Ilyasova. Just 4 to shoot. Milwaukee needs to get off a shot here. Connaughton from out on the wing. He knocks it down. Raptors leading by 3. The pass to Boucher. Back to Lowry. To the paint. 6 to shoot. Lowry drawing the double team. Yes, that goes in. And the Raptors lead by 5.
Well, they brought the double team to force the ball out of his hands, but failed to rotate off the pass.
Hill dishes to Lopez. Siakam against Middleton. Hill has the open look. Good, and the assist goes to Middleton. Hill's got 5 points so far.
George Hill showing some confidence here tonight. When he's got room from deep to fire like that, he didn't think twice about that one.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Well, George Hill, the veteran guard, doesn't produce at the volume he once did. Still, he brings a lot of value to a team.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Williams, he's checked in for Lopez. Korver comes in for Chris Middleton. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Pat Connaughton.
So agile. Ibaka able to quickly come up and set the screen, then quickly rolls into position for the score.
And for Hill, Greg, he's a great veteran leader who brings value to a playoff-bound team.
You know, Hill has a game that is effective even when he's not scoring. His leadership and defense will make him a welcome addition to any roster, even as his numbers fade.
Raptors leading by 4. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Here's Van Vliet. Offline with his 3. And so Hill will bring it up for the Milwaukee Bucks. Inside. That's good from Ilyasova on the assist by Korver. Ilyasova's got his first points in this one. There's 45 seconds left to play in the third. They get it back. Boucher, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Boucher's got 4 points now in the quarter. Bucks trail by 4. A different look from Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Ilyasova. Matthews comes in for Kyle Korver. And it's Eric Bledsoe in for Hill. 35 seconds left in the third. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. That's in for his 8th bucket tonight. A hot 8 for 11 shooting so far.
When you just look at the box score right now, he's not only filling it up with these points, but in every facet of the game.
Ibaka outside. Boucher passes to Van Vliet. Clock at 4. Toronto needs to get off his shot. 3-pointer. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Giannis has got 4 rebounds in this game. Oh, and he got it!
Did that beat the buzzer, Kevin?
Yes!
Wow.
Yes!
Oh, and that's a monster shot to close out the third. And the lead is theirs heading into the final quarter.
3 quarters of play in a close game here. Bucks lead by 1. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the 4th quarter gets underway. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter form.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
3/10 quarters behind us. 1 more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. Then it's Matthews. Then there's Bledsoe. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 2-guard position. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Shot's good by Bledsoe. Bledsoe's got the lead up to 3 now for the Bucks.
Bledsoe sort of playing the cat and mouse game here behind the pick and roll and taking advantage of the defense.
Nailed from 3-point land.
Well, that equals his 3-point total from the first half. He had 1 before the break, and that's his first 3 of this half.
Here's Gasol, and finished off by Gasol.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much elevation for Gasol to throw one down, of course, unless somebody's standing right in his way. That dunk is going to be easy money for him.
Giannis kicks to Lopez. Passes it to DiVincenzo. And another three for Milwaukee.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture.
Ibaka, the pass to Van Vliet. Here's Davis. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Antetokounmpo grabs the miss. Giannis has got rebound number 5 here tonight. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got 4 assists in the game. Outside, Davis. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Lopez with the block. Here's Van Vliet. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Well, I thought they played smart, and then all of a sudden it was maybe a little too flashy there, and that's unfortunate.
Chris Middleton's checked in for the Bucks. And Toronto will go for a different look here. Siakam is checked in for Ibaka. OG Anunoby comes in for Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Norman Powell's checked in for Davis. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Fred Van Vliet. And what a year last season for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was terrific across, Greg, all stat categories.
And he was rightfully in the MVP conversation very early on. He's still very young, and I see multiple MVP seasons in his future.
And the Raptors call time here.
Giving up a run here, can they turn it around?
Hard to say right now. At this point, I've seen the coaches run through 2 or 3 iterations of defense. Is there a fourth? I'm not sure.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, during that break, Coach Nick Nurse talked to his team. He said, guys, we don't want to play hero ball. We don't want to take threes that aren't there. There are better options when you run the offense all the way through. Evan will see if they can make that adjustment.
Here's Bledsoe, and Bledsoe with the stuff.
Can't lose sight of Bledsoe out there in a blur. He's so good in transition.
Lowry against Bledsoe. And the Raptors miss again. And it's Milwaukee's ball. It's been 8 unanswered points for him. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrated. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And they've done some nice work as we've come down the stretch here in the final quarter.
And right now is when you have to lay it on the line. Between the two teams, they've clearly been the aggressor.
Connects from three-point range.
If you came to watch a scoring battle, you're in the right place.
Both of these teams locked in on the offensive end. Going to be a high-scoring affair tonight.
And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Giannis bringing it down, using that sensational length to get that finish.
And a deep three from Lowry. A rebound by the Bucks. Lopez has got his 5th rebound in this one. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Milwaukee making a switch here. DiVincenzo's checked in. Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're ahead by 7. There's a minute 40 left in the game. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Bucks leading by 7. 1:19 left here in the fourth quarter. Pass to DiVincenzo. Now Bledsoe. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. Now recovering.
Oh, he bailed him out with that one. The shot clock was low. You got to just play straight up D. That is not the time to take a foul.
It's the first. That stretches their lead to 8.
Just Eric Bledsoe, when he's in these games and you can see he's got hyper-focus, he can become a big, big problem. Athletic, plays both ends of the floor, and that power from him at the guard position is very unique.
And the Bucks making a change here. Matthews is checked in. Here's Milwaukee now. They're on a 14-5 run. And the pass to Middleton. And here is Lopez. over Siakam. And Lopez gets it to go. Lopez has got the lead up to 9 now for Milwaukee.
Lopez down on the inside, getting that soft touch to go.
Siakam up top, covered by Giannis. Powell for 3, rebounded by the Bucks. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. No good from Bledsoe.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
Ball's knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Looked like a simple play and turned into a turnover. Can't give away possessions like that.
Here's Van Vliet, and the miss. And so the Bucks take the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Brent Harry, Greg Anthony, and David Owen, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you later.